Well, hello and welcome people to the internet to Seed of Heroes. This is a I'm talking really sweet bullet heaven that has a lot of like really interesting mechanics. Look, it's really fun. I had no idea this game was even coming out. Basically, I was just scrolling through the new demos that were out. This was at the top of the list. I took it for a spin last night, and I think that this has a really decent shot of being a really like monumental game in the bullet heaven genre. There's a lot of like, if you like upgrades, holy cow, this is a game for you. This has a really fun visual style. Lots of really bright, vibrant colors. The gameplay is actually really fun. There's a lot of different ways to upgrade in-game. So let's go ahead and jump in. But before we do, if you want to check out the game for yourself, demo is available for, I think, a short time. I'm not exactly sure how long the demo is going to be out, but the game is coming out in September. So we're a very short ways away from the full game being released. And I'm excited. This is a game we're going to be jumping back to. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. See how it works. So there's completely random world generation. There's different environments, different enemies that come with each environment. I have played in like a plains biome. I've played in a volcanic biome. I've played in a snow biome. For the most part, I'm going to be honest, the enemies themselves are not too much different in functionality, but ultimately, I don't think stuff like that really matters all that much in these style of games. It's mostly what is the power fantasy like, and the power fantasy is pretty sweet. So I'm just going to go ahead and randomly generate a couple times. So if you play the demo and you want to try the exact world and the exact scenario that I'm currently in, just pop in these numbers and you can play the exact map that I do, which is kind of a cool thing. It's not something that we've really seen before in Bullet Heavens. And this is something that might come into play later with some of the upgrades that we can get. But for now, for the most part, it's not really going to matter all too much. So we're going to start. Here are our little buddies. Now, these really aren't going to do anything for now. I think that they will come into play later with some different abilities now, or some different upgrades. Now, you're going to see that the map is divided. So I'm kind of highlighting here. It's grid-based. For the most part, grid-based doesn't really matter. It does matter when it comes to the bosses. The bosses are going to have abilities that attack different portions of the grid that we're going to have to dodge. And for the most part, the bosses themselves, well, I'll hold my boss comments until we actually get to the boss. In terms of leveling up, we don't have to pick up any experience, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about leaving experience behind you as you run away from enemies. All you have to do is kill enemies. So as soon as they die, for example, let's go ahead, maybe kill. There is no dash either, which I'm a little bit sad by. I like dashes in games like this, but let's see. Can we get a kill here? There we go. We got a couple kills. We got our level up. Now, we get to pick our treasures. Now, these are not like weapons you would see in other bullet heavens. We can have as many of these as we want. As you can see, we have plenty of inventory space. Now, before we actually pick here, let's take a quick look at the UI here. So here is our villager. Our villager's design is always going to change, which is kind of a cool feature. So that way you never feel like you're playing the same character twice. There are empty slots here. There are going to be other heroes here, which we'll see how they play once we pick up a new hero. We have our tags up here. So we have two different tags for the actual hero class. So we have a brave faith character, and this is going to come into play. Some of the weapons and some of the other characters are going to synergize with these. So for example, it even says here, increase attack by 5% for each brave hero in the party. That's just an example. We also have the ability domain. So we have melee, projectile, cast, weaponry, elemental, and summon. So the same way, we have an example, trigger when heroes use melee ability, X thing happens. So each character is going to have two tags, and we're going to try and make it so that our heroes all kind of synergize together. We have our physical damage, we have our attack speed, and we have our move speed. Up here, we can see a breakdown of what domains we have, both in our class domains and our ability domains. We have just an indicator here of this being attack speed, this being move speed, just so that way we have those listed. As for our party, we have our HP regen. All our stats are right down here. This is where all our treasures go. There are different types of treasures, artifacts, symbols, and relics, which we can see over here. The treasures have tags just like characters do. And then on top of the weapons having some kind of effect like you would be expecting to see, right? Dagger stab nearby enemies with short daggers. We have cooldown, how much MP they use. They also have bonuses that come with them. The bonuses are random. So sometimes you'll get like a really special item and it will be glowing and it'll have a bunch of bonuses down here. And sometimes you just kind of have like one bonus. I'm going to take the daggers here. I really like the daggers weapon. And there are going to be different reasons to pick different weapons, which we'll see in a minute once we get to pick up a class. But right now, we're just playing a base villager. Gonna keep going with the, yeah, we're gonna keep getting the daggers up here. There is no auto aim. There is auto fire though. So your hero's constantly going to be auto firing, but unfortunately there's no auto aiming. So you do have to do that yourself. So we're just going to keep progressing here. There are chests on the map, but right now, because of the demo and because of the way the unlock system works, I haven't been able to unlock other things on the map. So for the most part, in this demo version, we're just going to be running around defeating enemies, but there will be more functionality. And so now you can see how that's kind of a mini boss, not mini boss, but just an elite enemy. Going to take daggers here again. Just keep up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take crossbow here, I think. Get that one going. Once you get a weapon to max, so I probably actually should have been focused on getting the daggers built up, although it kind of depends on what my other unit, my companion unit, is going to do once we get one. And you'll see what I mean by that once we get our first companion unit. So let's keep working on this dragon here, trying to get him down. He's going to be a pest. He's going to keep. Oh boy, now we already have our first boss unit. So the boss units are going to have multiple health bars. You can see he has X out of 5. It was confusing me a little bit because I'm trying to survive, so I can't necessarily see everything that's going on in the screen all at the same time. Gonna keep going with daggers here. And so I kept seeing his health go basically all the way to the bottom and then jump back up, and I was like, how is he re-healing? Because there's multiple health bars. So now we get to pick a class. Now, one thing to notice that kind of screwed me up a little bit, I wish it didn't do this. It does infinitely scroll. So, for example, you see the knight. I'm still scrolling down. The knight goes by again. I wish it would just stop once we get to the end, but that's, I mean, I'm nitpicking here. So each class, there are 3 stages to each class. There's the base version, there's the first evolution, and then there's the mastery of the class itself. To master a class, well, we'll get there. But basically, the character you pick is going to kind of determine what weapons you want to build into. I think what we're going to do here is probably go into Warlord, because we already have Brave and Faith, and this actually works off of Brave and Faith. He's going to summon a tribe of like Vikings to come in and crash the party, basically, and is going to make me want to pick up Brave and Faith heroes. We could also go with a warrior. I think I'm actually going to go with warrior, actually. Push back enemies and perform Whirlstorm spin around the battlefield. He does this every 16 seconds, reduces for 1 second for each brave. Now this is leadership skill. So each class has a leadership skill. The leadership skill is like a passive that the class gets. We don't get to use this automatically. Once the class evolves to the second stage, excuse me. So we have like baby form is the villager, and then if you're thinking about this in Pokemon, you have like, well, it's technically 4 stages, but you have like baby form, you have base, you have first evolution, second evolution, right? And warrior is like the class is like the base state. So we're going to take warrior, but there's also like lancer, there's knight, there's a couple mages, you have blue mage, sage, red mage, you have a hermit character, musician, adventurer, and if you guys want to read these, just make sure to pause. I'm just going to kind of scroll through them. There's archer, gunner. So you got all your melee, magic, and range classes. We're going to take the warlord here. We're going to evolve. We're going to get a little, eventually, in the next couple seconds, we're going to change our outfit here. But now we have a hero to join our party. This is going to fill one of the empty slots and is going to give us some more basic attacks. But it's also going to give us another unit on the battlefield that's helping us out. Is also going to give us some more domains here in order to synergize with things. And is also going to give us some more leadership skills, assuming we can level our characters up enough. Now, we're looking for Brave. Let's see, what we're looking for. We're looking for Brave, and I forgot what the other one was. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that's Brave, so I think I'm going to end up taking the... I think I'm going to take the Red Mage here. Yeah, let's take the Red Mage. So there we go. We turn into the Berserker. Or the warrior, I should say. And now, once we level up again, we'll take a look at what leaderships actually do and how they work. There we go. There's that mini-boss. Let's go ahead and keep taking out this guy. I kind of can't chase him down because I don't have a dash of any kind. You know, like I've said in other videos. Now, one thing that was a little bit weird and I want to clarify this just in case you guys catch on to it. I thought that every time I leveled up, I was taking damage just because there's like a little bit of an impact sound, and it almost looks like we're losing health. The way it actually works is that you gain HP every time you level up, and so it looks like you're losing HP because your health bar stays the same size, but your health percentage is technically going down because your max HP is going up. So it's a little bit of a weird indicator because it looks like you're taking damage. Plus there's a sound that sounds like you're taking damage, but you're not. So the way that your leader's skills works, there's a couple different things. First of all, I should say that each hero class has 3 different treasures that it wants. When you obtain 1, 2, or 3 of those treasures, you're going to increase your attack power by 10% up to 30%. When you obtain all 3 of the treasures, you're going to go from the hero class to the high class. And then, let's see, the hero automatically changes to master class. There we go. Heroes at master classes permanently apply their leadership skills at all times. So leadership skills only work if the hero you're controlling is that hero. Does that make sense? So I can change which character is my primary character, and I'm going to get whichever the leadership skill is. So here I need a fire runestone, so we're going to go ahead and take this, so that way he gets 10% extra attack power. Now, if I want to switch, I can hold down my right mouse button and swap between them. So right now you can see my leadership skill actually isn't highlighted at all because I haven't learned it yet, because I haven't reached high class. So it doesn't really matter who I go with. But, for example, if I unlock the Fire Mage's high class first, I could swap over to him, use him. He will use all the same treasures because the treasures are interchangeable between all the different characters, but I will also get his leadership skill. So we're going to stick with the Warlord here. Keep trying to take out this boss. Just keep dodging. There is no contact damage, so we don't have to worry about that, which is super nice, especially considering what the Fire Mage needs is the Fire Rune, which when you run into an enemy, he does this like fire burst. And so yeah, if you took contact damage, that would be pretty bad. So we can kind of just like fully run into enemies here. There we go. Nice little level up. Let's go ahead and keep going with the daggers, because once we get this to 5 stars, we'll get a super powered version of this that's going to double in damage. So it's going to go from 300% damage to 600% damage, and it's going to have a nice little visual upgrade to just show that it's maxed out. But unfortunately, we are losing a lot of HP here. One of the downsides, there we go. So we killed the boss. There we go. Daggers. We get the nice bonus here, and we have a huge damage boost. Very nice. Now, one of the downsides that I have noticed here, and this is going to come down to meta progression, is that I have not found a way to actually heal your characters except for HP regen. I have not found any like health drops, any health potions. I found nothing like that, which is a little bit of a downside because it means that in this demo, unless you're very good at dodging enemies, which I'm going to be honest, I am not the best at, I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, so see here, we have a special Nightwing here that has a lot of different bonuses here. Unfortunately, it's not something we need to fully level up here. But I think I am still going to take it. It's still a pretty powerful ability to have. It's going to summon these, I don't know what they are, these things that fly around. So we just got our hero class change. We're now a chieftain. So if we go ahead and look here, we now have our leadership skill, which means that we're going to summon Viking warriors every 16 seconds. Okay, now we get another hero. Let's go ahead and take the Lancer. This has the Brave indicator. Yeah, so there being no way to really heal yourself, like you can see there, we just went from 61 to 64 HP. Gonna take Nightwing again here. We do get a little bit of HP, but bosses come so frequently that it is a little bit tough. I do wish that there was some way to heal on the field, and there might be in the full game. Again, when we look at the upgrades, you'll see what I mean. Oh boy, I'm kind of stuck here. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I got stuck on that rock. So because of the way that the meta progression is set up, especially in this demo version, it's going to make it so that your runs are pretty short. So let's take a look at those now and kind of get an understanding of what I mean by that when I talk about these. So let's go ahead and into the upgrades. Now we have a couple different trees. We have the Enhance, Encounter, Heroes, and Treasures. The most obvious one, Heroes. This is where you're going to be able to unlock other heroes. So there's Brawler, Scout, Ronin, Apprentice, Rogue, Tamer, Cleric, Black Mage, Arcanist, Singer, Gamer, Illustrator, Servant, Marionette, Cat, Trainer. So there's a lot here to unlock and play with. Now, you thought that was a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look at treasures. So the treasures here are obviously what we play with. We have some like Lantern Guide, we have the Lightning Runestone. Everything that's blue we have unlocked, everything that's red is not unlocked. So just scrolling through these really quick, and these are all unlocked by beating bosses. Another thing that's really interesting is if we take a look at this, daggers, they're only obtainable when you level up between levels 1 and 15. So some of the weapons, or some of the treasures, I should say, that we need to get like high mastery, for example, let's take a look down here, like Ghost Cloak, for example, you can only actually obtain this when you're level 41 to 50. So there isn't really a chance to kind of like cheese the game and get really lucky and get a high level one that you need early on, because you're kind of level locked behind some of them, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. So it makes it so that the game does kind of scale quote unquote properly. But it's just a different mechanic that I don't think that I've necessarily really seen before, or at least been highlighted in this instance. But yeah, so there's a lot of things. The thing that's tough is in the demo, features locked. So all of the meta progression is currently locked, and that's why if we take a look at like an encounter here, there's a whole quest system, which I personally love. There's a mercenary camp, which I don't know how that works. Wealth, monster, power, runestone, gem mine, chest, more heroes, more villagers. So yeah, this is obviously going to help you progress farther, faster. And then of course there's the enhance, so HP regen. Again, this is really the only place I found where you can actually heal. So I'm guessing, and there's also like party formation, which is a completely different thing. I'm not sure exactly how this would help you out. But yeah, that's there. We have magnets, lanterns, field hazard, let's see, drop rate, gold, renewal seed. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. So I'm not sure if like the mercenary camp allows you to heal, because there's just like our people here that are sitting at the beginning right here. I'm not sure if they're supposed to do something. Right now they're really not. They're just kind of here. It does say merchant, so I'm guessing at some point we'll be able to do something here, and we'll be able to do something here, although we can't really do anything right now. I'm trying all the buttons I would think would do something, and they're not doing anything. So yeah, I'm not sure, because we do have 500 gold here that doesn't have use anywhere else, so I'm assuming this is where we will come to eventually heal, but it might just not be available in this version. So I'm going to go ahead and take the crossbow here. We're going to go for maybe a little bit more of a range build here. And you can see our character design has completely changed. Now we have blue hair and a rolling pin. Very powerful, the rolling pin. Let's keep going with the crossbow. So you can see up in the top left, we actually have formation. We're in tail formation, which basically just means that the heroes are going to follow us. I'm not exactly sure how the formation is actually going to change gameplay. That'll have to be something we see in the full version of the game. I'm going to grab, I think I'm just going to grab, actually, I'm going to reroll here, just looking for crossbow. Oh, but that's a pretty good upgrade. I do like the daggers. Let's go ahead and grab them. And again, I will point this out, as I do with every game, every bullet heaven that doesn't have this feature. I do really wish that there was a dash mechanic, especially the movement. I mean, the movement is good, don't get me wrong, but it does feel a little bit sluggish. It is a little bit slow. And so especially when you're trying to dodge enemies all the time, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I do wish that there was a dash. But yeah, it's just one of those things. All right, so let's go ahead and take the archer. It's going to add 1 instance to heroes' projectile and elemental skills. So, I mean, the archer is also going to be helping out our casters here too. Physical attack hero, yeah, other than that, not really anything important there. But we can be careful to not go, not go where the enemies are trying to attacking us. But it is a very, very nice indicator. Nice and bright red. Love to see that. There's like, the only one that's like kind of hard to see, I'll be honest, is in the, oh wait, am I stuck on something? All right, well, a hero is joining our party. When a hero joins our party, we only have the 3 options. We can, of course, re-roll it. We also have the renewal seeds, which we can pick up from like chests and stuff, which will save us some gold. Oh, I guess this is how we use gold. Although, I guess this would kind of be like Asgard's Fall, where the currency is only used for reroll, but I could see there being a shop, considering that there's a NPC called the Merchant here. So let's see here. This is a magical attacking hero, which I guess we can go with. That'll help out because you use elemental. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's pick up the Hermit. And what do you need? Oh, right. You need the Carnivorous Seed and Wind Runestone, which we're not leveled up enough for yet. So let's just keep working on the daggers, I guess, again. Now, one thing that we can also do. So currently, the way this is working, if you look at my cursor or my crosshair here, you'll see that's kind of normal, and you can see I can switch it from that to flashing red and blue. Now, what's the difference between that? The difference is where my companions are shooting. So right now, with it being just blank, the companions are going to auto-aim. If I want them to aim in the same place that I am, I can hit F on the keyboard, and now they will focus wherever I'm pointing. So now all my damage is focused wherever I'm pointing to, which I tend to use whenever there are bosses, since we need a little bit more focused damage. And then once we're fighting just regular mobs, I'll switch back over, and my companion can shoot wherever they so desire. All right, let's go. Boss is down 3 health bars. But the soundtrack in this game is also great. If you didn't notice the music from the opening menu music is great. I mean, this boss fight music, I'm not sure what I keep getting stuck on. I guess there are rocks around here. Music is great. I really enjoy the soundtrack to this game. Oh boy. Okay, let's max out these daggers. Hopefully just really kill the boss nice and quickly. Also kill this little mini boss here. Nice, let's go. Let's go ahead and grab, again, there's nothing here I really need. I'm actually going to re-roll and try and look for this Carnivorous Seed here. Still nothing. Still nothing. Oh boy. Okay, well I guess we're just going to go with the crossbow, save a little bit more of our gold here. There we go. So we got Hunter. So now we have our hero, our leadership ability. Let's go ahead and take, So the Adventurer gives extra physical and magical attack, 2% for each treasure artifact, and we currently have 2. Well, while I don't think we're going to be mastering this class at this point, we will take the Adventurer. Okay, so we can go ahead and turn that off, and now our companions are going to be firing wherever they want to. Just taking out as many enemies as we can. Trying to level up as fast as possible to get more power for the next boss. Here, let's go ahead and swap back on. Everyone focus the same enemies. Yeah, so you can see it looks like, well, it looks like because we are at half health. Excuse me. But compared to where we were at the beginning, right? We were at like 250-ish health. We're still about there, but our max HP has gone up to 426. So it is a little bit of a visual like misnomer, if you will. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I still want that Carnivorous Seed. Maybe that's just a higher level upgrade. Now, these bonuses you can also reroll for. So if you want to reroll, for example, this is a kind of nice one. So I'm going to take this one. So if your pool, you find your pool is pretty small, like our pool is pretty small right now. It's pretty much just Fire, Ice Rune, and Crossbow. You can kind of just re-roll for better substats, which is also, you know, it's a nice little positive negative thing. Like, do you want to spend your gold for that, or do you want to save your gold for something better? All right, let's go ahead and swap back, have them fight whoever they want to. Nice. Okay, so now we have 2 weapons that are full up. I think I might actually re-roll this a little bit, try and get some better substats on it. Oh, there was the Carnivorous Seed. That's fine. We'll take the crossbow here. I think because maybe we hit a different threshold. Not sure. Okay, let's swap over. We're all gonna fight this boss. He's got 10 health bars, but we have 2 weapons that are maxed out, so our damage is actually really good here. Now, you do kind of have to lead your shot a little bit, since we're not, like, clicking to shoot. Oh, boy, let's go back here. Okay, so we have the Javelin. I'm going to go with the Carnivorous Seed, though. Now, in case you don't want to keep going back and forth, the game is nice enough to give you a little bit of indicator, and it shows that it's a support treasure. So this is one that you need for your heroes up here. We are going to take the Carnivorous Seed. It's going to give them a little bit more power. When defeating an enemy, there's a 6% chance to summon a carnivorous plant. All right, come on, buddy. Come on, let's go. Actually, let's make sure we... Gonna try and take care of some of these little guys while we're here. Maybe get a couple level ups while we're fighting. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, some of these enemies... Obviously, the boss one with the boss indicator is pretty self-explanatory what it is. I'm not exactly sure, like, exactly what the stronger and danger labels are supposed to mean. Obviously, I would assume it means they're just stronger. Does that mean that they're harder to kill? Do they have more defense? Do they have more HP? Or... Oh, we're taking this Javelin here. Or do they just do more damage? Not sure. Now, one thing that I know is happening right now, once I come out of this menu, there's a blue circle that's about to surround us. This happens every once in a while where we're going to be trapped in, and there's going to be waves of enemies that kind of come in from the sides that kind of like wall us out, and we have to defeat the wall in order to not get hit. So, let's go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, this is kind of another one of those situations. Yeah, that was unfortunate. There was a rock literally right there that I couldn't see. There's downsides like that. I'm not, like, getting stuck on rocks kind of isn't fun, especially when they're behind trees and I can't see them. Now, to be fair, I think I was dying there anyway. But there's been a couple times so far that we've been stuck on trees, and or stuck on rocks. I haven't been crazy about that. But that can be easily remedied by the old adage of get good. All right, let's try again. Let's do one more run. Let's go ahead and swap up the seed too. Why not? Let's go ahead and start, randomize it, and nice. Let's go. Oh, we're back to Muspelheim. And of course, we are in a, you know, kind of Viking theme, so there's going to be a lot of Norse names. Muspelheim being one that we've seen in Asgard's Fall. I almost called it Asgard's Wrath again. I want to call it Asgard's Wrath every time. But no, in Asgard's Fall. Yeah, see, like, these rocks we get stuck on, it is a little bit annoying. For the most part, like, if we see them, we can kind of work to avoid them, but... some of them being behind trees, not the greatest, not the greatest. Okay, let's go ahead and go with Ice Runestone. We haven't done the Ice Runestones yet. We've been doing daggers a lot. And then we have none of those. There we go, Ice Runestone. Now, it does seem like there's not a lot of weapons here at the beginning. I have a feeling that's just because we haven't unlocked, or we can't unlock any of the other starting treasures. And so there's probably a couple more that we can get for starting treasures, but I have a feeling that because we're just in these early levels, we're not seeing a big variety of treasures, right? Because, first of all, we have to unlock more of them, but also because they are they're held down by the levels, right? Yeah, so for example, like, there was a stronger keyword and there's a danger keyword. Does danger mean they're moving faster? Not sure. Let's keep going with Ice Runestone. Now, we want to change to a mage, so probably a blue mage. HP regeneration plus 10%. Summon Ice Guardian to fight along our side and applies frozen on enemies. Alright, so let's go blue mage. And we want to bring in... we don't really have any reason... we don't really have any reason for combining these. So let's just go ahead and go with Warlord. Yeah, let's go Warlord. Let's bring him in. Nice. Let's level up Ice Runestone all the way. Get our big version. Okay, boss number 1. Let's go. We've already seen this guy before. And one thing I mentioned in the... Okay, so apparently we're throwing snowflakes now. One thing that I mentioned in the beginning that I kind of want to hold my tongue on until we actually got to a boss is the fact that... Do you need daggers? No, you don't need daggers. Let's go ahead and take Nightwing. Let's level that up. Is that... I guess one of the things that... Well, there's two sides of this argument. The thing I'm going to pose is that there's not a lot of differences in the bosses and their mechanics. And to be fair, I don't think that is necessarily... This is not a... Bullet Heavens are not a style of game where boss mechanics are really important, right? In a Souls-like, right? Mechanics are make or break a boss. I'm going to take Frostfang here. They make or break a boss. In this game, not really a big deal. So I think as long as, for the most part, I think as long as the designs of the bosses are cool, then you have a pretty winning formula on your hands. But for the most part, the bosses just have more health, and maybe they do different attack patterns, but for the most part, I haven't really noticed a big difference in how the bosses behave. All right, we got a new hero. Let's go ahead and do maybe Musician. Again, like the leadership skills don't really matter all that much. I guess you can basically swap here and there between heroes. So that's actually a reasonable argument to look at the leadership skills, at least in this version. You know, if we need more health, once we get his leadership skill built, let's go with Nightwing here. We can swap into him and get a little bit of healing. Let's see. Another nice thing too is that if a weapon should have tags on it, so for example, the Divine Cross, Wisdom, Faith, and Inspire heroes have a chance to smite enemies around a defeated enemy. Now I don't know what smite means. I'm assuming it just means 50% damage. The game is nice enough to highlight those for you. So, for example, we know that this is going to apply to all 3 of our characters. So any of our characters that would defeat an enemy have a chance to smite enemies around them. So that's a really nice feature. So that way you don't have to go through and think every different time like, oh man, do I have these different tags? It's just nice enough to give those right to you. All right, now how are we doing? We do not have our Musician's leadership skill yet. So we're going to keep our Blue Mage out, hopefully recover a bit of HP, because obviously we have a big HP pool. But I still haven't figured out yet a great way to recover that HP, right? That's also a mechanic that I think is a little strange compared to how I would expect it to work, in that when you level up, you gain HP, but you only gain max HP. You don't gain... you don't get like 5 out of 5 HP, for example. You get 0 out of 5. Not necessarily saying that it's 5 HP you get, but I'm saying, you know, it doesn't give you HP for free. It just gives you the max HP. You need to recover that HP on your own. Okay, let's not get stuck on these rocks. Oh, I'm stuck on rocks again. I'm going back to getting stuck on rocks there. Oh, man. Yeah, see, like, that's a situation that I kind of wish that there was a dash, right? Because, okay, so if we're looking past the blurred out screen, there were 2 boxes here. As far as I'm remembering, there were 2 boxes here that I was trying to get out of. There were free spaces here, but then all of a sudden, these spaces were then dangerous. I think that's what happened, unless I got hit by something else, and then my point is completely mute. But that's at least what I'm taking away from it, based on what I saw. But you guys may have seen something different. So we have our time survived, final score, gold collected, seed collected. Yeah, and then we get our currency that is currently not relevant to us. To be completely fair, it's not relevant to us at this moment. But yeah, so we had that for the masterclass. I think the system, again, it's tough. It's one of those things that, like, I want to experience the game. I want to experience the game in its full glory, with getting farther and using more of the systems. Unfortunately, the demo is just kind of here to get a taste of it, right? We don't have to wait too long. Like I said, it is releasing in September of this year, so about a month away, right? Not sure if it's beginning or end of September, but we can say on average it's going to be a month. I'm really excited for this one. We're definitely going to be taking a look back at Seed of Heroes once it comes out in full release. I think this game is really fun. I mean, to be fair, I think that there is definitely going to be elements that kind of trick your brain into thinking it's more fun, because it's got a lot of, like, bright colors, things that are flashing. You got things to tell you, like, oh, this is a good item, you should pick it up. Like, there's a lot of, like, dopamine stuff, and that's just, like, it's good design, right, to make players feel good. And that's kind of how I felt when I played this the first time. I was very surprised at how positive, like, it's hard to explain, but there's a different feeling I get when I play a game like this that has a lot of bright colors. It's fun, it's engaging, and it's always giving you something new to look at, versus a game that might also be fun, but is maybe in, like, a dark fantasy setting where it's all dark colors and it's more muted. It's a little bit more serious. You can still have the same experience, just the feeling you get between the two is different. I don't know if that exactly makes sense. I'm hoping it does. In my brain, it makes sense. But yeah, this is a sweet one. I am excited to see where the full game goes. Again, obviously, for people who are not a big fan of metaprogression, okay, maybe it's not going to be your thing, right? I mean, these are all out of 5. I mean, look at everything here. Like, there's a lot to unlock, especially the fact that I'm assuming this number is going to go up, and this is how much currency I have. Like, come on, that's a lot. But if you are someone who likes to grind, and I'm sure the farther you go, the higher probably your multiplier will get, and you'll get more unlocking material here. And again, I am hoping and I'm assuming that these characters will help us out in, or actually maybe they don't, because now I'm just realizing that the merchant is here to unlock heroes. So maybe they don't do anything. Maybe they're just because if I go to appendix, yeah, this is you, the librarian. So that might just be an extension of the menu system, which is weird that they would put it in the game. Huh. So yeah, then I'm not sure how. I guess it's just HP regen. I do wish there were different items that could drop. Maybe that's something if I take another deep dive into here. Maybe encounter, increased chance chest. Maybe it's something that you can find in chests and I'm just not finding them yet. Like maybe it's power rune stone. I don't know, but I feel like there should be a better way to heal up your characters rather than just relying on HP regen. That's not necessarily the most consistent way to do it. But yeah, that all being said, guys, I think this is a really sweet demo. If you want to check it out for yourself, like I said, I will put a link in the description below to the Steam page so you can check out the demo. I don't know exactly how long the demo is going to be available, if it's going to be available all the way until full release, but like I said, full release will be sometime in September, and we will of course be doing coverage of this game when it does fully come out, because it's sweet and I want to see what the full release has to offer. So guys, what did you think of Seed of Heroes? Let me know down below in the description. Are you excited for this one? Are you going to be checking it out for yourself? If you did like this video and you had fun, would you kindly smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for more roguelike content just like this. But guys, I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. Listen to that menu music one more time because I think it is really great. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.